Welcome to Total Apex Sports. This is the fourth and goal. I'm your host Andrew, and I'm with my guest here, first time coming on the show, Jay Muscle. How's it going, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Thank you for having me on the show today. Hey, I'm always busy, always doing stuff, but hey, I will definitely make time for you with fourth and goal.
Right, right. But yeah, let's touch on your temp first off the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for Sunday Night Football. Um, Obviously Dallas has Cooper Rush. They're technically not out of contention, but I mean they basically are. This should be a pretty good game on the. It should be a good game for the Bucks. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
Well, we already know the tragedy that is the Dallas Cowboys
Uh,
and the craziness and circus that goes on with them. So for the Tampa Bay Bucks, it's simple. They go in, run their offense like they're supposed to. Injuries have been a constant nagging problem with the Bucks. Who it's a story for every team in the NFL around this
yeah.
time of the season. Bucky Irving is the key to the Bucks winning the rest of the games for the Bucks. Mike
Mhm.
Evans is still chasing the his 11,000 yard receiving season.
Yep.
They need that. You're saying they need him to get the ball. They need Baker to make good decisions, and that defense need. Todd Bowles needs to lean away from the zone a little bit. I
Hmm.
mean, the zone helps, but it could also kill. Like, but
Yeah, I mean,
playing this Dallas Cowboys, this should be just a little simple bump in the road. Dallas Cow, you know what I'm saying? Even their defense is. I mean, no disrespect to Cooper Rush, but what's he really going to do?
yeah, I think the only thing maybe is like, they still have Mika Parsons. They don't have Trayvon Diggs. Um, so it's kind of like if the pass rush can get home, then maybe this could be a closer game. But you know, um, I think maybe Bowles has kind of been leaning more on the conservative side with his blitz packages and zone coverage, just so the secondary isn't getting beat. I know Winfield's out in the back end, so that probably has a lot to do with that.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have a lot of inexperienced, good cornerbacks. As of right now, a lot of them are banged up. A lot of them are don't didn't have the reps to get to the level that they would want to be at right now. But there's still a lot of promise in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in that offense and in that defense. I mean, yeah, Levante David still making big impacts on that defense.
Yeah,
Logan Hall, he's making defensive lineman. He makes a good impact almost every game, win or lose. Cansey's been kind of hit or miss with his injuries. Like if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can actually have their unit healthy, they're a good contending team.
hmm yeah, for sure. Like a few weeks ago, like I know they lost to the Falcons, but I'm like, yeah, I mean, basically, if they just clean up business, like this is their division to lose. Atlanta, they just announced Michael Penix is the starter because Kirk Cousins like he can't move anymore.
Yeah, I mean, they're basically letting everybody know, hey, it's a wrap for us this season. We're just gonna go ahead and just let the seconds get their reps in and playing for next season. Which, hey, as a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, thank you. Like, just go ahead and move to the side. You know, Tampa Bay still looking for their fourth straight divisional title this season. So they're a game and a half above up on the Falcons. So all the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have to do is run the ball. Baker Mayfield
Yep.
make good decisions. The defense step up and beat up on the Cowgirls. I mean, the Cowboys.
Right. I think I saw Mike Evans just needs 80 yards at least for each game, and then he'll get the streak going. You know. Um, yeah, that was tragic with his injury and obviously Chris Godwin's injury. But I thought
one thing
McMillan
about
has stepped up recently.
one thing about Mike Evans though is he's consistently getting those yards. It may be the quietest 1,000 yards, but
Yeah.
it's consistent, and he's there when the team needs him. But we are the football is a very very hard game on the body, and we see Mike Evans getting older, and not just as a Bucks fan, but as a football fan, I really want to see Mike Evans break Jerry Rice's record. Does he
Right.
have five? Does he have 5 more seasons in him? You
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
He's all he was out a couple weeks with a hamstring injury. Like I would like to see Mike Evans break it, but to me, in all actuality, I don't think he's going to do
Yeah, it'll come down pretty close. It honestly, I mean, for fantasy purpose, like this is like a good thing if you have him because he's probably going to try to look towards him. Now that he's the main target. Um, but right, for the Monday Night Football game, we got the Saints at Packers. Actually, before we get to the Saints, I want to know what were your thoughts on Michael Penix going back to the Falcons real quick for the draft.
it. Let me be honest with you. Like Kirk
Yeah,
Cousins is
sure.
a good quarterback. Like let's not let's he's a good decent quarterback. Kirk
Yeah,
Cousins is
yeah,
not that guy though. Like I don't see Kirk Cousins leading a team to a championship, but he does put in the work, and he is a good quarterback. With them changing to have that Penix quarterback tells me two things. One, there's something wrong with Kirk Cousins, injury wise, whatever.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Two, Atlanta's looking towards the future.
Yeah, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like I just that decision still is like bewildering to me and a lot of people. Obviously, why just give him like the 100 million if if you're not even putting like all your chips in one basket and you're like going like spending high draft capital on a quarterback and then but then also paying a quarterback in free agency. Like I don't know. I guess this could be. I mean, this just sounds like he could get traded in the offseason or get cut.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
just yeah. Even it's just
Exactly.
dead money for them at this point. Um, but yeah, going on to the. Oh, you want to say something real quick?
No. Go ahead. Let's go into this
Okay.
Monday night game because yeah,
Yeah.
hey, we're talking about another division rival in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers division who is
Mhm.
playing. And let's be honest, their car's out. They got
Yeah.
backup quarterback there. The Saints are not what the Saints used to be. The Green Bay Packers, Jordan Love, he is. You got to say that guy is transcending every game. He's getting better and better and better. Before long, Green Bay is going to be that team that's going to be one of those top contenders. I think there's still a few more pieces
Okay.
left for their defense to grab in order to be that high level. But right now, with the Green Bay against the Saints, that's hands down Green Bay all day.
Yeah. That's obvious. I actually think, um, you know, you kind of mentioned before, Baker's been a little bit turnover prone. I mean, that kind of, the gunslinger. I think Jordan
Mm-hmm.
Love had that issue to start the year, and he's definitely been more of a game manager. They have Josh Jacobs running the ball. That's limited their,
That was a good addition for them too because it kept it keeps the ball out of Jordan Love's hands and
yeah.
pushes them to do something else other than have the ball in Jordan Love's hand. Jordan Love is not Aaron Rodgers, as we know, but you'll say it as a lot of football experts have pointed out. There's a lot of Aaron Rodgers like movements that Jordan Love does because, of course, he had to be a student backing up
Mhm.
Aaron Rodgers at the particular time.
Right.
All the little hints, like, yeah, at the beginning of the season, he was turning the ball over, but that was him learning. And now look at him.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure. Real quick, we can get into Philly at Washington. That's going to be a must-watch game for that division, and then Vikings at Seattle. You know, with the Geno Smith injury, that's brutal for them. So, I guess what are your thoughts on the rest of the NFC competition for the playoffs?
It's going to be, it's going to be crazy that we're going to have teams that have in double-digit wins fighting in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because we look at a division like the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. That division is going to have three teams with over 10 plus wins.
Hmm.
The NFC division is, division is scrapyard, but
Oh yeah,
let's be
yeah.
honest, it's nothing compared to the AFC though. Let's be serious. Like the
Yeah,
AFC
yeah.
is Godzilla, but NFC. The thing is with the NFC right now, anybody at the NFC could come out on top because
Hmm.
Detroit is banged up right now.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're saying that the timeline with them into the playoffs is questionable. Even though I'd like to see
Oh, for
Campbell
sure.
win one because I do like him as a coach.
Hmm.
Uh, the Philly and
Yes.
Commanders. If Philly does what they're supposed to do, and that's
Yeah.
run with Saquon Barkley, like run with Saquon Barkley, the man jumped over somebody backwards.
Right, right.
I've watched tons of football, Bantam League, high school, college, professional for over 40 years. I have never seen someone hurdle over someone backwards.
Yeah, that I mean now they're trying to copy it in high school. I mean they're
Man,
trying.
that's what you're saying. But not to get off the you're saying subject, the Eagles, that should be an easy win for the Eagles. The Eagles have so many weapons on the offense. Like the hit, you're
Yeah,
saying for them to lose to the Commanders, it would be a surprise. But also at the same time, it's not that hard of a surprise because their quarterback has been going bananas. Like
yeah, Jay Daniels.
Cam Newton like. He might as well just start doing the Superman thing like Cam when he gets in. So,
Yeah, I definitely don't think it's gonna be like the last time they played, that could have been, first time seeing the Eagles defense. Um, he had some struggles with Terry McLaurin, but like the past like 2 3 games, like they've been catching on a heater, and yeah, I guess the other two teams, the Seahawks, Vikings, and Rams, those would be the other NFC playoff teams. I mean,
The
what you think about?
Seahawks with the Seahawks. I mean, I'm a DK Metcalf fan. I'm a
Uh huh.
Geno Smith fan, but man, it just seems like they can't get it together in Seattle.
Yeah, they kind of for first year head coach, they had a kind of a rough start, and then it got going a little bit. But yeah, even if Gino comes back and he plays well, like the defense, like it's been getting better recently. But that game against the Rams was kind of like a must win if they really
Yeah,
wanted to solidify
yeah,
themselves.
to be taken seriously. Yeah, they need to win that one against the Rams.
Yeah, I mean, same with like the Cardinals like 2 weeks ago. I mean, they kind of just shit. They kind of just ruined their chances. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I guess for whatever reason, like they've gone through a lot of offensive and defensive inconsistency as well. But the Rams have done it before. They're finally getting healthy.
yeah.
What do you think about them heading into the playoffs?
Who's that? Who's that?
The Rams.
The Rams. I I think the
You're not
Rams
buying
they
it?
they're going they need to revamp their defense.
Okay.
Like I mean, I think they really missed a shot with Matt Stafford. I mean, like Matt Stafford was
Last
averaging
year.
almost 300 yards when he was in Detroit passing. We
Yeah.
haven't. I don't feel we've really seen that version of Matt Stafford, and he has
Yeah.
plenty of weapons. He has plenty of weapons around him for him to be that type of Matt Stafford.
Yeah. I mean, I think they might be in a similar situation with like maybe the Lions, maybe the Bills. Like they're gonna have to put up points to win playoff games. Like they're not gonna. They're just not enough like talent on the defense to overcome if they face a better offense. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
And
That's completely definitely.
yeah, I
Definitely,
think
that
also
defense. You'll say if they can get that defense
right.
together, they'll be back.
Hmm. But yeah, I think Stafford's kind of this year. He's kind of been. He's had a few good games here and there, but it's mostly been game manager like they're trying not to lose um, at certain points. But if they get into the playoffs, they might give Aaron Donald a call. You never know.
Nah, you
You never know.
come off the couch and make some sacks.
Oh yeah,
I don't know. It's gonna be interesting how Sean McVay is going to get that team back to the caliber that everyone expecting to. Because I like Coach McVay. Uh,
Mhm.
one of the young coaches, you'll say that came out and made noise early. Uh, if he can,
Right.
like if if Matt Stafford and that defense can get everything together, yes, we'll be seeing the same Los Angeles Rams as
Mhm.
before.
I think the other team that they kind of pull the Cardinals like that Thursday night game was ugly against the Rams. The Niners they just don't have any. Their talent up front is just not healthy.
The San Francisco 49ers is another team that got hit with the injury bug hard.
Mhm.
Like really, I mean, we have to be honest. Their I don't want to say heart of their offense is Christian McCaffrey. I mean, that run game that the presence that Christian McCaffrey brings to that offense, Let's
Yeah.
Brock Purdy be the good, you'll say, the elite quarterback that he's been shown. Like now that teams have tapes on Brock Purdy, it's all the downside of a quarterback is starting to show up with Purdy.
Right.
Debo Samuels, he's been injured. They have Brandon Ayuk. He's questionable.
Oh yeah, he's gone. Yeah.
Yeah, like dog. He was saying like it's just it, it it's crazy because more and more every season we're seeing more top players being put out for seasons because of injuries, and
Right.
it's lessening the experience of the game right now. Like technically,
Mhm.
I feel you'll say if it was up to me, we go back to the 16 games. You know what I
Interesting.
mean?
Yeah.
We go back to
Yeah.
the 16 games.
Yeah.
Even
I.
with
Yeah.
even with a team like let's say the Kansas City Chiefs, they have won 2 Super Bowls in a row. So that means out of a calendar year, they're playing or prepping most of the year. You'll say your body could only take so much of that. To compare to
Right.
a team that got put out early in the season, they'll have like 2-3 months of recovery compared to a team like the Kansas City Chiefs who might only have 4 weeks.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
the game of football is hard on the body. Like
Yeah.
to put 2 extra games and 2 extra weeks into it, I think hurt better than help.
Yeah. Especially like we got the week 16, week 17 holiday. You know, the Chiefs play Saturday and the Ravens, and then they both play on like Wednesday, like or Wednesday Thursday. Like that's a tight turnaround. Yeah.
Right, right.
I
Even with the turnarounds with the Sunday to Thursday.
yeah. Yeah.
Like I mean, I love Thursday night football. Don't get me wrong, I love it. I love it. I love it. But
Right.
for a team that just won on Sunday, then you got to play on Thursday. You put the team at risk for injury.
Yeah.
So now you're saying yes, there's a whole game management and all that stuff, but also at the same time, who's going to tell your star defensive lineman, "Oh no, you can't play too many snaps. You played on Sunday." Who wants to play? Who's going to tell him that?
Yeah.
Nobody.
No. Yeah. No. Like Zach was saying yesterday, like Thursday night football, it sounds like good in concept at times, but usually the product we get, like it's not worth on the players, in fantasy, like sure they could go off on a
Hmm.
Thursday night, but like there's so many things like that factor into that, and yeah, I mean, kind of diminishes the product a little bit.
I think Thursday. I think only time teams should play a Thursday night game is unless they had the bye week before all.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Um, yeah, we could get into talking some fantasy football this week. Um, I don't know. You play fantasy this year, either
Yeah,
redraft
yeah, yeah.
or
Of course, we played some fantasy this year.
yeah.
Like, hey, Bucky Irving, you know what I'm saying, was a shot in the dark, but he
Hmm.
worked out.
Hmm.
Uh, I took, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people took hits with Stephon Diggs going down. A lot of people took a lot of hits with Goblin going down.
Oh yeah,
Uh, but I hate to say, one person that has, you know what I'm saying, brought me a lot of points though, Josh Allen.
oh yeah. This stabilizer
Josh
at
Allen.
quarterback. Yep.
And the thing is with Josh Allen is like not saying the guys on the team are scrubs or anything, but they didn't have no star names before the season. It was
Yeah,
just a
yeah,
group
yeah.
of it was just a group of guys. Josh Allen made them stars. He did what a leader is supposed to do: turn your guys into stars, and that's exactly what he did this year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it like the top six quarterbacks. Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson. They went pretty early in August. Joe Burrow was a steal, to be honest, with Chase being the wide receiver one. Um, but yeah, but you also get like sleeper hits like Jaden Daniels and Baker, your guy. He,
They, Nobody believed in Baker. That's the thing about it. Like they passed, like Cleveland got rid of Baker right after he got hurt. Cleveland, saying Baker went to the Panthers. He did a little spell in the Los Angeles with the Rams, and then he wound up in Tampa Bay. Nobody really has given this man a real shot, and he's gonna
right.
get it now.
We got our very own Dusty, Jay Muscle talking smack. Um, but no, yeah, I think the way, like, for example, like Josh Allen, like maybe he wasn't gonna win your week, for example, um, but he definitely can he's gonna be drafted higher next year. But yeah,
Yes,
we got Dusty up in here. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, y'all?
I'm doing good.
Dusty, what's good with you, man?
I'm living the American dream. Just happy to be back online. Sorry I joined late. I was in a very important meeting.
Oh no, no
Haters,
problem.
I got to prepare for all the haters that are out there.
Yeah. But we were just talking fantasy quarterbacks. I mean, who's been your guy this year?
It's not really about a year, but for this week, I'm telling you guys,
Okay.
watch Michael Penix. He's taken over
Yep.
in Atlanta. He's got weapons. He's got a decent matchup against the Giants. I'm just saying.
Yep.
I mean, it's the
Michael Penix.
Giant. It's the
Michael
Giant.
Penix. But in
It's the
fantasy,
Giant.
exactly. But the thing is you play fantasy to win money. You don't play fantasy to, if you don't finish first, you don't finish.
Understand,
Right.
but I mean,
But I'm
really,
just saying, based on a matchup,
who is going to be really counting on Tommy DeVito?
no, but Michael Penix with Darnell Mooney and Drake London, I'm just saying that's a favorable matchup that is going to pay dividends. And the other one that I really like this season period, and I think this was a coming out year for him, just to say, hey, I didn't have no real wide receiver one until they brought in Amari Cooper. But Josh Allen's body of work, he put the Buffalo Bills on his back. All right, that's all there is to it.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
And I mean, you've got, and everybody is on, oh, well, James Cook is a good running back. James Cook, if you look at it from a statistical standpoint, James Cook is not that great of a running back. It's just that teams focus more on Josh Allen than
not
James
Cook.
Cook. It's the same thing of why the running backs that Baltimore has had in recent years have been good, because they're more worried about Lamar than they are Gus Edwards and all these other people. Look at what Gus Edwards has done this year.
Yeah, nothing.
No. Okay, so when you have a dual threat quarterback, then you have to pick your poison as a defensive coordinator. You either have to keep eyes on the running back and hope and pray that your linebackers can keep the quarterback in the pocket, or you say we trust our defense to stop the running back and we need to focus on Lamar or Josh Allen. I'm just saying.
Everyone's making this, this big hype about Penix coming in. But if he does, okay, let's say he does do good against the Giants.
Yeah.
Is it really a big deal? Is it like
I think it is?
Can you compare it to the Eagles defense or
I
the
would
Vikings
say this to
defense?
you. I will say this to you that coming out of the draft, I told everybody on air that I felt that the two purest passers in this draft were J.J. McCarthy and Michael Penix. Michael Penix has the best deep ball coming out of that draft.
I'm glad you mentioned J.J. McCarthy because my question is, what's the Vikings going to do now?
The Vikings, okay, so this is the way the NFL works, y'all. So if you look at what Sam Darnold has done in Minnesota this year, he is going to get an opportunity at another team because the Minnesota Vikings are going to have to pick. Are we going to run with our rookie or are we going to go with a 4 or 5 year vet and pay him $100 million? Because at this point, considering what Sam Darnold has done for the Vikings, now granted, he does have one of the best wide receivers, if not the best wide receiver in the league with JJ. But this is a no-brainer. They're not going to re-sign Darnold. Darnold is not going to take a pay cut. Darnold is going to be looking to cash in on the fact that he took the Minnesota Vikings to the playoffs. They're not going to win the NFC North. I'm sorry. Dan Campbell has got them boys in Detroit locked down. And I'm impressed with that performance because Dan Campbell needs to be the coach of the year. You look at all of the injuries that they have. All of the people on IR, they keep dropping like flies. And they still come out. And they literally have that next man up mentality. Dan Campbell has done a beautiful job. And that's my running back to start. I see that you guys put it on the title. Jahmyr Gibbs is about to blow up this week.
Yeah. Yeah. I was going to say, going back to Josh Allen, James Cook, Ty Johnson, Ray Davis, I don't think it matters who they got back there. They all can pop off.
That offensive line for Detroit is hands down one of the best in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Dan Campbell did. Well, when you're talking the Bills offensive line is the same way. So,
yeah.
But again, it's not the fact of the caliber of the running back that Buffalo has. Because everybody in fantasy, when James Cook was out for them couple weeks that he was out, everybody was getting on the Ray Davis. Ray Davis. No. It's just that the spy linebackers are focused on Josh Allen.
Yeah.
They're going to give up the yardage to the running back, but their main focus, any good defensive coordinator will tell you, this is the person we're focusing on. Now, it's different when you face a team like Baltimore because Baltimore really does have a duo threat running back quarterback tandem because you can try to shut down Action Jackson and then King Henry's going to put you on your ass, put you on your butt. I got to watch my mouth.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
This is PG. This is a PG channel, Dusty. This is a PG channel,
It is
Dusty.
the same thing with Philly. Everybody is on this hype train with Philly. And I'm not saying Philly hasn't had a great year. They have. Saquon has really shined as an Eagle. But don't let it fool you. Playoffs are a different atmosphere. We've seen
That's true. That's true.
These teams go 14-0, 14-1, 12-2, 12-3, whatever in the regular season, and they look at what Dallas did last year. One of the best records in the NFL. Went into the first round of the playoffs against a team that was a wild card team in Green Bay, and they got their doors blown off in Texas, in Dallas.
Got the hits, man.
So that's what I'm trying to say is everybody thinks that the NFC and the AFC are already pretty much, we already know what the Super Bowl is going to be. No, it's a different ball game because sleeping. People are sleeping on some of these teams. Like everybody says, well, we know the Chiefs are. I am not sold on the Chiefs. I'm not sold on them. And it's part of me is I just don't want them to get the three-peat. But at the end of the day, when you're first, how healthy?
Let me give you.
Really.
let me give you this scenario before I go, Dusty.
Oh Lord, here we go.
Let's say the Kansas City Chiefs don't make it out of the playoffs. They don't make it to the Super Bowl. They revamp, and now you have another 6-7 seasons with them being the Kansas City Chiefs that they've been recently been.
I
Is
think
that
the
going? You'll
only
say like you got to be honest with yourself. Like
I think that
them getting the proper rest after these 2 past seasons of going hard. You give Andy Reid extra time to
I think that
prepare.
the refs have helped them out a lot because I think that a couple of the games, technically, they should be sitting at about borderline wild card. There has been some. I'm not saying that the NFL is rigged,
Hey!
but the NFL
the outcome
is rigged.
is the outcome.
Okay?
The outcome is the outcome.
I'm going to tell you right now, the team that and if it comes down to it, I like it. I'm telling everybody right now. If Kansas City has to play Pittsburgh in the playoffs, I would not be shocked that Mike Tomlin goes in there with Russ.
With Russ?
With Russell Wilson.
Oh, no, I wouldn't be shocked at all.
If you said
I'm
Justin,
saying,
you might have a chance.
No, Justin is done. I'm telling you. He's going to end up going on. Justin's done. He's a hot flash in the pan. Look, this is the history of Ohio State quarterbacks. Come on now, Terrell Pryor, great in college, knew how to move his feet. Where's he at now? They ended up putting him over at wide receiver, and then he did good for about a season, and now he's gone.
Right.
Okay, so
you got a point there.
It's just the way that the Ohio State quarterback room runs. They're good in college because that's the scheme that the Buckeyes run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But when it gets to the NFL, he is not for real. Justin Fields, he really is not good at throwing the ball. He's not. I'll call it. He's great with his feet, but when it comes to throwing the ball, no.
Right now, you right now, yes, you're right. But if he was put in a better environment, I think you'll say he could. You'll say where he could grow better. Yeah, I think you'll say he'd be that quarterback.
You know what I find solace in, you guys?
What?
The boss man called Caleb Williams.
Oh no, yeah, you did. You
hey, look, man, look.
And I'm going to tell you why. Because it's the coach. It is the curse of the Bears. It is the curse of the Bears. It don't matter. You could bring in Peyton Manning, Randy Moss, and all of these guys, and that coaching staff and that franchise would not have had Hall of Fame careers. That is the curse of the Bears. And everybody thrives on, oh, well, we had the 86 Bears. I'm like, okay, that was 1 year.
Yeah.
1 year.
All right, fellas, I'm about to bring this to a wrap. I appreciate the invite, and this will not be the last time you see Jay Muscle. And I'm gonna put this out now. Next time I come on the show, Dusty, you be there in the beginning because you jumping in the middle. I
had to. I seen you guys on there, and I'm like, what is Jay Muscle in here doing?
You know what I'm saying? You jumping in the middle don't work for me. I need you the whole time. I need you the whole time.
I don't. You couldn't hang with me full time.
Oh no! I think I can. I can.
So before you leave, I want you to give me a quarterback, running back, and a wide receiver lock for this week fantasy.
Quarterback. Josh Allen.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Pricey. When you do a fantasy, you got to make sure that you're getting 3x value. He's going to be about $8,000. So that means he's got to pull up 24, 25 points to make it worth it.
Yeah. I'm going to go Bucky Irving, running back.
Okay, now that one ain't bad.
Wide receiver. Who the Cardinals play this week?
I don't even know right offhand.
Oh, they play what is it? I think Carolina.
Oh,
Carolina,
that's
yeah, I'm going with Junior. Marvin
yep.
Harrison Jr.
Marvin
That's
Harrison. Okay.
MHJ. That's
I'm gonna go with
MHJ.
him.
What about
And
you? What about you, Andrew Kim? Where are you at with it?
You
Who's
know,
your quarterback this week?
I mean, I think I mean not to bring it back to Tampa, but I mean I don't know how Tampa stops Baker Mayfield or Mike Evans in Jerry World. If I'm being honest, like they're about like moderately priced, but um, you know, I mean we saw last week against a apparently tough Chargers defense. Um, like
why are you
he can just
dancing
get like two
around?
three
Why are you
touchdowns.
dancing around, man? Pick your quarterback. Pick your quarterback and running back, man. You dancing around the question.
Oh
Oh
no, no,
man, that's
I'm going Baker.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
hmm.
And in terms of running back, um, I think Dusty, you mentioned something like over the summer. It might have been you or someone else, but you know Chase Brown, like he's going crazy. Like he doesn't even have to do well on in the run game to go off for fantasy. He just catching touchdowns, you know, rushing one in. It
That's
doesn't
a good one.
matter.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
But yeah,
So I'm personally I like stacking in fantasy. So
right, right.
I'm running my boy Michael Penix against one of the worst secondaries in the league, and I'm going to stack him with Drake London. And then
Ooh,
yes, I'm taking Drake, and I also have a sleeper running back, and then my solid running back. I'm taking Josh Jacobs against a porous Saints defense.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, they cannot
Josh
tackle.
Jacobs is already over 1,000 yards for the season. He's already in double digits touchdowns for the year. And I think that the Packers hit gold trading off Aaron Jones for Josh
Yeah,
Jacobs.
yeah. They did.
Now, my
They did.
sleeper, see, sometimes in fantasy, you just got to listen. So, Dan Campbell has made it perfectly clear that he will be proceeding with caution with Gibbs' workload. Okay. Therefore, fire up Craig Reynolds, backup running back for the Detroit Lions. It's always been a 1-2 punch, and Greg Reynolds is another David Montgomery, going to get
Okay.
some goal line
Yeah.
snaps. And at the price point, you are going to be able to get if he gets if he just gets one touchdown from the goal line,
Oh
he's
yeah,
already
Yeah.
paid off his
I
3x.
can give you that. Yeah, I'll go with that. Yeah, I can go with
Craig
that.
Reynolds,
Because you know what
Craig
I'm saying?
Reynolds.
Dan Campbell has that whole team believing that they're King Kong, man.
Mm-hmm.
He has the
yeah.
whole team believing they're King Kong. Like Dave Camp, you'll say the Detroit Lions right now, it doesn't matter who comes off the bench right now, they're going to give 120% on that
Coach
field.
of the year, coach of the year. I
Like,
don't care what nobody says. When
yeah,
you go,
I'll second that vote for Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell is an animal.
Yeah, I'll
And,
second
and
that vote.
and that's just the way it is. I mean, for real, for real.
Yeah. No, that Reynolds is a good call because Gibbs is going to be basically like everyone's going to have him in their lineup. So if you want to go a little different, then yeah. I mean, also like I mentioned this in the headline. Like, can Trey McBride just catch one touchdown, please? Like,
So I want to double check my stats before I say this because I'm pretty sure that I'm right, but I want to make sure. Yes. So here's your bust of the week. Stay away from King Henry.
Mm,
They're playing the
no, I'm not
Pittsburgh
surprised by
Steelers.
that.
The last time that they played the Pittsburgh Steelers, they held him to 65 yards and a touchdown.
yeah, he's true on that.
And at that price point, because King Henry is obviously going to be one of the highest on the slate, you're not going to get that 3x value. And considering that this game will be, let's make sure that I'm right, it is in Baltimore. but I'm not. That doesn't that home field advantage doesn't come in for me there. It doesn't.
No,
Good
Henry's
point. Good
been
point.
yeah.
All right,
Henry's
fellas.
kind
Hey,
of
I'm
been
about to
on.
burn out of here.
Okay.
Hey, I appreciate you saying. I appreciate you saying the invite. Hey, send me the next one, and I'll be right here. Hey, also a little quick run. Speak your game tonight. Check me out. All
Oh
right.
yeah.
Hey,
Yeah. Me too.
Andrew, Dusty, everything good, man. Y'all be easy.
Yep.
Yep. But yeah. Before we wrap it up, I agree with you on the King Henry point because he kind of been on a like you look at the yardage and it looks okay, but he's been on a downtick. Um, they've been throwing way more. The Ravens have been throwing way more. Um, and yeah, against the Steelers, it's a tough matchup.
I know
But
it's
we
been
good.
a while since I've been on. Okay, so there's a lot of intriguing matchups this week. So I want to actually hear what you have to say about this because I don't know how long you guys have been on there. Oh, we're at 45 minutes. So when we're
Yeah, we
looking
can
at
go
tomorrow
over.
night's game, 45. We got about what is it? We're about 16, 17 hours away from kickoff. I'm digging this matchup between the Broncos and the Chargers tomorrow night. I think this is going to be a good AFC West showdown because I don't think Jim Harbaugh is getting enough credit for really what the heck he has done as the Chargers head coach.
Yeah,
And both is flying under the radar.
yeah.
So who do you like in this one?
I think I'm gonna probably lean Denver just because the Chargers without J.K. Dobbins, they've just not been able to run the ball. And Herbert's gotten pressured a lot. Other than Lad McConkey, we sometimes get a good Quinn Johnston game. He has like 8 touchdowns in the year, but he's dropped so many passes. But yeah, I lean Broncos. Bo Nix has been on pretty good this year.
Yeah. I like the Broncos as well, and I think it's because without, like you said, J.K. Dobbins, they really don't have a run game, and that's where it is. You know what I mean? I think that the secondary for Denver has made leaps and bounds improvement from what it was last year, even with the loss of Justin Simmons.
Oh yeah,
Pat Surtain is having a year, and I just is the game in Denver too? No, it's in LA. So, but again, I just think Sean Payton's got this one. Bo Nix has got more weapons, and I really like what the Denver Broncos are doing. They should get in as a playoff team as well.
oh yeah. They should. Honestly, I think what's more underrated about the offense being functional under Sean Payton, we kind of expected that. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if Vance Joseph gets potentially if he gets the opportunity to head coach again,
Yeah.
he turned that defense around um, compared to last season.
What about Texans Chiefs going into the 1 o'clock slate? Actually, it's a Saturday game.
Oh yeah. We got the two Saturday games, Ravens.
Yeah, the Christmas. Well, it's not even a Christmas Eve special. Man, they're trying to pack some games in here. The Texans Chiefs. I'm going to call this one. If the thing that worries me is that this is at Arrowhead. That's the only thing that worries me, and that's a very, very hostile environment. But I have solace in the fact that the Texans have talent, and they are deep. Now, I don't know the injury report or anything like that, so I would have to see. But I think this is going to be a close game, and it's too hard to call. It depends on, obviously we don't know if Patrick Mahomes is playing. I'm going to assume that he is. But that ankle injury, are the Chiefs confident enough with their record to solidify the number 1 seed? I think so. So at this point, do we see Andy Reid pull Patrick Mahomes rest into getting ready for the playoffs?
Yeah, I wouldn't
And
be
then that
surprised
would
by
bring Carson Wentz in. And if
Mhm.
it's Carson Wentz, I think that the Texans get the win. If it's
Oh,
Carson,
yeah. Oh,
if it's
yeah.
Carson Wentz, the Texans will win.
Yeah, the Texans need to win more for sure. I mean, going back to Ohio State quarterbacks, what's your thoughts on C.J. Stroud's decline this year?
I think that he was the outlier of that group.
Mhm.
CJ Stroud he was able to do some scrambling, but he actually has a very good arm and it's lethal. Like when his receivers are healthy, oh dude, I would put that wide receiver core up against any in the league. You're talking
Yeah,
Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell, Nico Collins. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, and it's been the injuries that have really screwed up the Texan season. That's what it boils down to.
yeah.
But
I mean,
that Texans offense is explosive, and I'm going to be very interested to see how this develops.
yeah, they just got Nico Collins back from injury a few weeks ago. Like they're going to be amped up for this game. Like with Joe
Mm-hmm.
Mixon, the Chiefs defense. It's been actually one of the more beatable ones the last few
Yeah,
weeks.
yeah.
Like you can definitely have your way with the team on offense, um, for sure. But yeah, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Steelers had to play the Chiefs in the playoffs. That you know they knock out the former Super Bowl champs.
All right. Steelers Ravens at M&T Bank in
Yeah.
Baltimore. I think this is going to be another close one. I don't know what it is, but
Hmm.
the Ravens have struggled against AFC North teams this year. They
Yeah.
have. They have not really. They have not had like a dominant victory over any team in the AFC North this year.
It might just be a North thing.
It
I don't
is.
know.
I mean,
But
that's the
yeah.
nittiest, in my opinion. The two Norths, the NFC North and the AFC North, are the grittiest, most dominant divisions in football.
Yeah.
I'm confidently saying that. You got three potential playoff teams in the NFC North. And despite the Browns' up and down season with injuries, they are a very good, nitty gritty football team. The
Yeah.
Bengals, Joe
Yeah.
Burrow
Their
is having
defense is good.
himself a year. The Steelers are bouncing back with Russell Wilson. George Pickens is coming into his own. Joey Porter has really stepped up on the defensive end of things. TJ Watt is doing TJ Watt things. And then you've got the Ravens. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the NFC Norths are they're my number one and number two divisions in the whole NFL.
Yeah. 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 For sure. I think I with the top pick in fantasy next year. I mean, I don't want to get too early on redraft for next year. Um, if nothing happens with the Chase negotiations, like if he resigns and goes back to Cincinnati, I think he has a year left, but still, um, he's been the one difference maker at receiver for fantasy this year. That Burrow Chase stack, I've seen people literally get the championship because of that this year.
It's been in the Millie Maker a couple times as well. It's been a winning duo.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think about the Browns benching Jameis? It sucked for fantasy though.
It did suck for fantasy, but I don't know. I don't. The Browns do this every year, though. Okay, like I'm not. It is. Yes, Greg is correct. It is because of the Vikings, but there's three dominant teams in that NFC North. But when you're talking about the Browns have just historically had bad luck at the quarterback position.
Yeah, it's mainly been just quarterback.
Yeah, and, I mean, And let's face it, I at this point you have to assume. And look, I'm a big Nick Chubb fan, but I think his career's done, dude. I think his career's done. You've blown
Yeah,
your same knee out twice. Now you've blown something else out.
yeah, he
You're
broke his
done for the
foot.
year. Yeah, he broke his foot. And I'm like, at what point do you just hang it up? Like say, my body is done. I mean, I think I would have more respect instead of trying to come back and continue to put your body through that. I know it's about the almighty dollar, but I mean,
Yeah, it would
he
be
could be the whole season.
yeah, it'd be like 2 off seasons that he's been in rehab. I mean, like that take mentally that takes a toll on
Yeah.
your psyche.
I
Um,
personally would love to see the Browns, and I don't know what the record is right now because I don't have it pulled up, but I would love to see if they could try to find a way to bring in Ashton Genty
yeah, I
for
mean
the
they
draft.
could they have a top 7 pick. I think they only have like 3
I
wins.
think Ashton Genty is a blue-blooded Browns style running back.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that would not be a bad fit because we have the with the draft coming up. There's the 2 quarterbacks everyone's talking about with Shador and Cam Ward, but I mean at least on paper, like if I mean they're probably going to be stuck at QB with Watson again, but I mean I wouldn't mind them just re-sign Jameis for a year if they can, and then just you know if they can get Gianti at like pick 6 and 7, snipe the Cowboys where they're at. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean I wouldn't mind that, but
Obviously, you know where I'm going with. Here we go. What do you think about Jameis? Yeah, the Jameis situation. I honestly, I think Kevin Stefanski at this point has given up hope on the season. I mean,
yeah,
and there's a lot of optimism. Like, if I am the Browns, this is how you fix the Browns. First off, your wide receiver core isn't bad. I
no,
think you need
Judy
to
has got 1,000 yards this year.
exactly. And Cedric Tillman's actually came out of his shell a little as the WR2. You also have Elijah Moore there. You have one of the best tight ends in the league with David Njoku. You have a solid offensive line when healthy. So what is the issue? Okay. So your backup, Jerome Ford, he's a solid RB2, but he's not a starter. So what do? You address that through the draft. I am telling everybody right now, you get rid of Jameis, you get rid of DTR, you go into free agency, you eat the money that Deshaun Watson had, and you bring in Sam Darnold. You bring Sam Darnold in free agency, you draft Ashton Genty, and then you draft another linebacker. That's the ticket. The secondary for Cleveland is solid. Miles
Yeah,
Garrett, the decent defensive line with him. Linebacker, running back, quarterback. Them are your 3 positions.
yep.
That's how you address it. Now tell me I'm wrong.
Oh no, yeah. If you can just get a you still have Kevin Stefanski. You just need a little bit better, not injuries at the QB position.
No, I got a
But
question here. Pick 2, full PPR. Terry McLaurin, Adam Thielen, Calvin Ridley, Jerome Ford. Okay, so my lock in that would be Terry McLaurin, and I think I'm going to have to roll with Jerome Ford. I think he's got a juicy matchup against the Bengals defense. The Bengals defense has not been good that year. Been that good this year, people. So
yeah,
Calvin Ridley's been too wishy-washy. I know he's the featured receiver in Tennessee, but when you look at who Tennessee is playing, they're not even playing, or they're playing the Colts. So that is a divisional matchup, and these two always battle it out. So I don't like Calvin Ridley in that scenario, and Adam Thielen. I don't trust that. I
yeah,
don't trust Adam Thielen. So I think your 2 picks there, Dino, would be Terry McLaurin and Jerome Ford.
yeah. Ridley's got Mason Rudolph under center this week because Will Levis got benched. And yeah, we sort of saw the floor come out with Adam Thielen last week against Dallas. I mean, Bryce Young's been pretty good relative to what he was last year, but they're still basically like a middle tier offense. Still, they're not like this top echelon offense, obviously.
No.
But
And I'm gonna throw something out there is that there's another player that I think needs to get a little bit of recognition this week in DFS formats. And people are going to look at me like, oh my God, no. There is no way Jonathan Santiago. I mean, I think that the Cardinals are literally keeping him out of the end zone to break the record of the most receptions in a season without a TD.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I think that we're screwed there, bub. Like,
I think the only optimistic thing is Kyler did address this at a media press conference, and he's like, I do actually want to get him a red zone target. He even had earlier this year, he had a red zone carry, and he just got stopped at the 1. Like they can't even just push him in there.
Need to start 3 between Terry, Ladd, Jennings, Keenan. Keenan Allen is a sit. I'm telling you right now, sit Keenan. They are going up against the Detroit Lions, and that Detroit secondary has been good all year.
Yeah.
Just saying. I would not be starting Keenan. I do like Terry. Ladd, honestly, I don't understand. I would have to take Ridley in this situation because Ladd has a very tough matchup against one of the best secondaries in the league with Denver. And then I would have to take Jennings. So it would be Terry, Jennings, and Ridley for me in that group.
I would say like Ladd's definitely been heavily targeted when he gets the ball, but he's been in and out and banged up. So in terms of like you need the points. Obviously, we got the fantasy playoffs right now. You're either in your semifinals or you have another week. But yeah, Ridley might be sort of better. I mean, we saw with Mason Rudolph a little bit a few weeks ago when he was in. He did get some good spike weeks, but if he can get a touchdown, that would definitely help him out.
Dino leaning towards Thielen because Leggett's out. That there's going to be volume there. Don't get me wrong, but you also have to look at the matchup and the Cardinals secondary. It isn't great, but it also ain't one of the worst in the league. It's in the 15 to 20 rank. Okay, so. And Thielen is aged. I mean, these are people that. I mean, if it's just a one-time deal, Dino, then I'd fire him up if that's your make or break. I would fire Thielen up against the Cardinals because I think that the Cardinals are going to jump out to an early lead quick, and that's going to force the Panthers into throwing the ball. And if there's only one option to go to, then I think that's where it needs to be. To answer your question, yes, Kyler Murray will get it done against the Panthers this week. That Panthers defense is garbage. I mean, it is a hot mess. They don't know who their starters are. They don't know. They have no identity. Those are, if you guys have been playing DFS this year, anytime the Panthers are playing a team, that's the offense that you want to target. Yeah. So, yes, run with Kyler Murray. He gets it done this week. He had 2 touchdowns last time against the Lions. Defense is banged up. And Terry got bad matchup also, but can't sit it. So, yeah, I understand. But it's the frustration is what's going to stop Keenan Allen. Caleb Williams, if you guys have watched the videos, he's just frustrated. And when you deal with a team that's frustrated, going up against one of the hottest teams in the NFL, that is a recipe for disaster. Now, I'm not saying that, Keenan Allen's going to be an absolute bust. But when you gave me your list of starters, you're asking me to pick between Terry McLaurin, who I think he's going to have a bounce back game. This is that stud off of a dud narrative that people thrive. Okay. So, yeah, you guys did good against me the last game. But I got something for you this game. And it's a divisional. Plus, we're riding into the playoffs. So I look for them to get Terry McLaurin involved early and often. Mark it down.
Yeah, he actually gets featured in the red zone like a lot. Like he's their go-to guy for the Commanders. Like James is looking for. I mean, I know they have Quinyon Mitchell and he shut him down, but I think they're gonna find maybe different ways to move him around. I think last week they kind of did that. They shifted him from the right and left side, which is I don't know, that's kind of obvious to do, but they didn't really do that earlier this year. But now they're doing it.
Absolutely.
So you gotta trust your stud. But yeah.
All right. So let's go ahead and get this wrapped up. I don't want to be on air too long because we will be doing a lot more. But for those of you guys new to the show, I know I haven't been on in a while, but my name is Dusty. I am the CEO of Total Apex Media. You guys stick around. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure that you guys go check out all of our sites. Stay up to date on everything. If there's something that you need to know, we are here to help you. And again, you guys be safe out there. Maybe being an Eagles fan is keeping me. Yeah, I think you may be right, Jonathan Santiago. You may be right. You may be right.
Yeah.
Because all I'm saying, and I know I got sidetracked. I'm like squirrel. What? But I got to respond to it. So here's something for you to chew on, Santiago. Okay? The Eagles are doing the exact same thing that the Cowboys did last year, run through regular season. What happened to the Cowboys last year in the playoffs? They got the doors blown off at home by the Packers.
Yep.
Just saying. Last one from Dino. Jerome Ford or Breece Hall? I'm running. I have to go with Jerome Ford in this predicament. I think that Chubb's out. He's going to get the volume. He's got the better matchup against the Cincinnati Bengals. I could easily see him getting in the end zone. At his price point, volume is key, people. When you're dealing with DFS, you want the players that are going to get volume. Volume equates to points. Points obviously wins the tourneys. So you guys, that's what you have to do. They didn't have Barkley MVP. He's trying to defend them. He is trying. I am not saying nothing bad about the Eagles. It's just I've been around the game a little too long to believe the regular season hype. We all know dang well the Chiefs ain't supposed to be 14-1, but they are, ain't they? Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, if it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck. Guess what it is?
Yep,
it's a duck.
Yep,
it's a duck. So that's what we will see how they handle it.
Yeah, I mean, going to Breece Hall, like I know they say he's going to play. You know, they have two rookies that they've been getting in rotation: Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis. Like, I mean, for the Jets, it's kind of over. Like, I don't understand. Like,
I don't even know why at this point they're playing starters. I mean, they need to. Yeah. I thought at Thanksgiving they would just stick a fork in it because they were done at that point. I mean, and as a Packers fan, okay, let's talk for a second here because I know, Andrew, you have to go. But as a Packers fan, we came out of that trade looking like a Rolls Royce. I'm just saying. Jordan Love has been stout. And honest to God, it didn't surprise me as a Packers fan because you look at what they do with their quarterbacks. We've had three starting quarterbacks in the last 25 years. We went from over a decade with Brett Favre to over a decade with Aaron Rodgers, and now you have Jordan Love. Mm-hmm. Must be something in the cheese. That's all I'm going to say.
Yep. Well, that's going to do it for Total Apex Sports. Follow us. We have sports, entertainment, gaming, bets. We have the Herald. Yeah, we also have a lifestyle that just the new sites came out this past week. So yeah, check us out at the Fourth and Goal. We'll be back next week.
And you
Taking in
guys
the
make sure, that you tell your friends. Total Apex is about to make a comeback. We've had a lot of people out here in the communities running their mouth. I'm here to say Total Apex is stronger than ever. Often imitated, never duplicated. You guys make sure you tell your friends to tune in. Pay attention, like us on X, Facebook. Make sure you guys check out all of our great content. We will be posting warnings. Hey, we're going live. Make sure you guys, we interact. We talk back.
Yep.
But for Dusty, for Andrew, I'm out.
Yep.
Take us home,
Stay
Andrew.
easy.